Okay, here we go. Doing a reaction here, a little bit of a slower reaction, okay? We're doing a lot of rap music or electronic based music, and now we're taking it to some indie folk, okay? This is a Big Thief's masterpiece. This is their debut album, and this is one I haven't heard. I think I heard, let's see here, I did hear about Big Thief around that 2017 when their second album came out, but I wasn't listening to them then. I sort of, started listening to them when UFOF came out, or a little bit beforehand with the singles. And now I've listened to that album, Two Hands and Dragon Newmore Mountain, I Believe in You, which I have a reaction to that album out on this channel as well. I wasn't like the most hardcore fan of them. I definitely picked up on the singles on UFOF. And then when it came to Two Hands, that song is absolutely brilliant song. So, that really blew me away. And then Dragon Newmore Mountain came out, and that's when I was like, okay, I'm really messing with this. That is a great album. Like 20 tracks long, and consistently changing with sounds on that project. But consistent within quality, and I mean it's an impressive feat. So yeah, they haven't been doing it for an okay length of time, I guess 7 years or so since Masterpiece came out, but and they've become pretty big of a name, I'd say. Like, they're relatively popular. I think they did win a Grammy at some point. And that was for Not, I believe, too. Okay, let's continue forward, start this album. Okay, I will say one thing beforehand to Adrienne Lenker. I did listen to the solo project from her as well, the songs. I think that's my favorite thing that I've heard her do. Little Arrow here is the first track on this. It's just a very short 2-minute song. It's very lo-fi, recording, which I don't think I've ever heard. I think I've heard them produced in a different way. This obviously comes with intention. Short song. I'm not really sure what to think about this. Lyrically, I don't know. Go little arrow, shoot like a wave through the tongue of the taro, bloom every morning, the water, the pepper, the egg, the warming. I don't know what the fuck this song is about, to be honest, but it's cute, it's very chill. We'll see how this pairs up with all the other songs, or if this really is working as an intro to this whole album, I suppose. Years, days, makes no difference to me, babe. We got more of this rockier element to this. This is like a country rock song in a way, I guess is what I'd say. I'm vibing with it. It's pretty good. I'm not too shocked or too blown away, but I'm vibing. Lyrically, what are we getting here? Years, days, makes no difference to me, baby, look exactly the same to me. Ain't No Time, crossing your legs inside the dimer, raising your coffee to your lips, the steam. So it's sort of like being in a situation with someone years in, it doesn't matter, you know what I mean? Or like, I'm feeling like this love that you're having with this person too, you're not keeping track of the time, you're not, you know what I mean? It's the same, and you're kind of, that's what you like. Just reading the Genius here. What happened to Adrienne and her father in the early stages of her career? He looked at her as a commodity. Okay, I don't know what her career was before Big Thief. Like, I don't know what this was. Let's see here. Oh, she was young when this album came out. Ooh, what the fuck? Adrienne Lenker, she made an album in 2006 called Stages of the Sun. So she would have been like 15, 16 when this came out. Country rock, country pop, pop rock. Interesting. So okay, so she was making music, and John Lenker, I'm assuming that was her father, executive producer, string arrangements. I was 13, she could friends with the left. Those recordings I count as my education as a teenager, but I don't really class them as my first records. Okay, so fuck, man, she was, and that was 10 years before Big Thief. Okay, very interesting indeed. Very interesting indeed. You wanted to get out of this place. This place smells like piss and beer. Can you get me out? You're asking me how to get you free. So he wants to get free from this life. Okay. You saw the masterpiece. She looks a lot like you. So, suggesting that, like, her career, like, her capabilities. And, I mean, look where she is now, I guess, right? Pretty sad song, I'd say. Like, sort of disgusting. Or sorry, discussing sort of this come up in her career, potentially like being at this very youthful state, like sort of before you could even consider it a career, potentially her relationship to her father and her, I think it said up here, her grandmother, right? Okay, Vegas here, another very short track, but I'm really liking that guitar on here, and lyrically I'd say this, to me, even gets moodier. Maybe just because I was really able to focus on what was happening here a little bit better than the last track lyrically, but maybe this is like some sort of touring situation, I'm not sure, but this is like with a relationship, I guess. You know, they're with this person for a week, like sort of on a road trip maybe, or really spending a lot of time on the road. So this person is, you know, you're listening to some music, this person's crying, you're comparing the sigh of the headlight sea. The tears were salty ocean. So seeing the tears, I guess, in this person is something that's like the ocean. Like, it's very wide, it's very big, very expansive. And in a way, it's very inescapable, I guess. You open up the engine and listen to it sing, and I thought, you a lamb. Again, being a lamb when listening to the engine. So, you know your daddy till you were 13, and he took his leave for the likes of the land and the far off salty ocean. So the person's tears were the salty ocean, the dad leaves for the salty ocean, so it's like these tears are also reminiscent, not of just this song, but they're recalling back to sort of this traumatic past this guy has had, right? Like, these tears also stem from things to cry about in the past, such as his father leaving. We shook our bodies and we started to scream and asked you again. So this, she is sort of being this emotional support system here. Tell me, when we grow up, do we ever go home? You said home becomes the highway. So interestingly enough too, and this is just like road trip movies too, road trip movies, when they're on the road, this is sort of this escape from reality, not wanting to have to face things sometimes, but in the journey, in the road trip journey, you are facing things, you know what I mean, like that ends up being that purpose. But suggesting here though that the home is the highway, you know what I mean, like we're gonna stay in this liminal state forever, because they don't want to grow up. And again, growing up in a way is, here in this song, I guess, is also facing the past, the things that have traumatized him in the past. And then the song ends with them, sort of, being in some sort of sexual situation in a motel. And again, saying this too, recommend I'm a woman to keep and I called you a man. And beforehand, just suggesting that they're not growing up, and then using, like, they're not girl and boy, they're women and man here, right? So they together, are becoming adults together, maybe that's sort of how I'm reading that.
Having a bad week, let me touch your cheek, I will always love you. Real love, real love, real love makes you lungs blood. Real love is so hard to take. To any other, letting them touch you, looking up to real love is so hard to take. Riding in the backseat, watching the speed fly, and the hummingbird roll up so fast. Looking up to her, watching her do her makeup and hair.
Okay, this is an emotive song as well, but quite more energetic. It seems, especially with those guitar solos on there, it feels quite angry. You can easily tell with the lyrics here that it's very much so about an abusive relationship. Having a bad week, let me touch your cheek, I'll always love you. So let me touch your cheek, I'm assuming, right, kind of coincides. The next verse here, having your face hit, having your lips split by the ones who love you. Like this, and then it goes into real love makes your lungs black, is a heart attack. So, this real love is a very shitty thing. Showing your mother to any other, letting them touch her, looking up to her, watching her do her makeup and hair. Being a child, I guess, and having to watch this situation happen, and makeup and hair, like watching her sort of cover up the fact that this is even happening. Here, mama got drunk and daddy went crazy. If your speech slurs, if you feel shaky, meet me out back. I'll be there waiting. Riding in the back seat, watching the spit fly and the hummingbird cry. Oh mama, oh papa, oh mama. How much blood is worth the draw? Watching this as a kid and thinking, like, why is this happening? Like, what is this even worth, really? This is a dark song. This is a dark track. Shit. Damn. I think what we got with the last song was a very much like, when it comes to love, very youthful and, like, figuring life out at a young age. Now here we have, like, a kid having to witness this relationship that's very abusive. So seeing two sides of the coin here on what love can really mean. This isn't love, right? But one thing is when you're a kid, that's your parents, that's, like, supposed to be the closest definition of love to you. So it can be a very, 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 confusing thing. Once you get out of that, once you grow up, that's when you'll start to realize how much that really impacted you. Wow, yeah, it's a good song.
The way let it down. We don't need to carry what's far from here is not so scary. She's getting thin. You're going gray and white, and you don't know how to do it as you say goodnight. It takes you down the line. You could go back in time. You could hold it close at night in the sun.
It's kind of got a grunge vibe to it. Okay, Interstate's quite a good song as well. I'm feeling a little bit of a different vibe here. Like, I feel like with Little Arrow for sure, starting off with this country sound. Here on Interstate, this sounds like straight out of the 90s, yo. This is straight out of the 90s. And Interstate, again, this being called Interstate, us coming from the song Vegas, so already getting another song, being on the road, being in this like liminal in-between state. And in-between state kind of makes sense too when you're thinking about the chorus and discussing this. You could go back in time, right? Like, okay, let's continue. Let's start with how the song starts. Though you let her down, you don't need to carry. What's far from here is not so scary. Though you cannot see her, you don't have to worry. She needs your hand, though your eyes are blurry. So this person needs you even though you can't do everything for them. She's getting thin, you're going gray white, you don't know how to tell her as you say goodnight. Poison freeway, though. This change that's happening is very poisonous, I guess. Wishing they could go back in time, or I guess there's like more of a wishing of wanting to go back in time to potentially have been better than having to try to do things now when you don't feel like you can. Okay, and you could hold her close at night in your slumber, dream her as a child when you loved her mother. So like, when you did, you know what I mean? So like, trying to find ways to like, sort of fix this relationship. Now you're in a house, she's small and dressed, she's not a woman, you were just a guest. Okay, it's one to say this is a relationship between singer and father again. So like seeing out that he is still just a guest, so it's like him trying to fix this relationship over singing is just like not working. Like his role as a father seems to be like gone. Very interesting. If this is the same relation to Interstate as what we saw in Masterpiece, like talking about the father there. So, and again, when we're talking about like Masterpiece, like thinking about her career, it was still more about him getting out of this certain lifestyle through her. And now look what it's done to the relationship. Potentially that's what's happening.
Your new blue eyeliner caught my distraction with such perfect diction. There I let you tie my hands back and take me. Lorraine on a Saturday morning. Lorraine with your soft burning hand covering my mouth, and like we were hummingbirds screaming and raving. Lorraine on a Saturday morning. Lorraine with your soft burning hand.
Okay, short song, but I think this may be my favorite one. Lorraine is like really going into that folk vibe, just way it's singing, utter like sadness there. It's very relaxing, very beautiful. I guess I was just reading this too on the Genius thing. Lorraine's supposed to sound like the rain. Now I'm seeing too here at the start of the song. It says like the thunder came crashing. In your blue eyeliner caught my distraction, and like we were two lovers forming from friction. Your mouth caught my ear with such perfect addiction. So, you know, this is starting with, and again, the way it's describing this like sexual encounter is very sensual. It seems very romantic. You know what I mean? Like two people who know each other well and can't get their hands off of each other, and then discussing this like Saturday morning soft burning hands. Right. So like this experience happening on a Saturday morning. And again, Lorraine's apparent. This is what it says on Genius again, because I'm not taking this from my own. About the rain, right? So like this sort of imagery of what this Saturday morning is like. This very peaceful, event. Lorraine with your soft burning hands. Soft hands, good. Burning hands. Maybe burning in the sense of like that sort of emotional idea of the hands touching, maybe. I'm not sure. But then it goes into another circumstance where they're with each other. Very vocally emotive. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful track.
Oh, the last time I saw Paul, it was horrible and almost let him in. Yeah, we hopped inside my car.
Soft song, I could say this one's very commercial. I can tell at least. A very fast-paced track. It's very easy to get through this one. Basically explaining a very toxic relationship with this homie named Paul. So starting off, right, talking about the last time you saw Paul. You're horrible and almost let him in, but I stopped and caught the wall. My mouth got dry, so all I did was take him for a spin. So then, like, suggesting, like, you know, you saw him, you knew you shouldn't see him. You didn't let him in the house. Instead, you let him get in the car. You went in the car. He pulls a bottle out. You guys drink. And, you know, that rekindles something, right? That, you know, and then going into that chorus where you do feel like you're gonna be a tough cookie with this person with the whiskey breath, right? So due to this drinking that's happening. And I'll be a killer and a thriller and the cause of our death. So sort of suggesting too that, you know, where this relationship is going to be heading together is just nothing good is going to come from this. Thinking, and in the Blossom of the Months, I'll show that I get driven off with thought. So maybe thinking that, like, okay, you thought that, like, you were having doubts or something about this relationship, or you thought you were going to have doubts. You swallowed all of it, maybe discussing, but realizing that he can't kiss away my shit. So, okay, so sort of coming into some realization within this relationship that, you know, you're better off not in this situation. Okay, and then wanting to break up with this person, like saying that you're only going to cause them pain. And now, like, you're suggesting, like, no matter what, you're always going to be stuck thinking about this person, even though you've kind of, you know, did what you thought was right. Damn, okay, this is fucking, it's a very toxic relationship for sure. It's filled with a lot of intense emotions, like very fast, quick-paced emotions, that's later on you realize just was not leading anywhere good. But I feel like in the lyrics in the song, at least, you still have some, like, love or enjoyment from what that was.
Love is a common affection, alright. One bad night, you felt your touch like a fever.
not bad. I will say that's probably my least favorite here. Just noticeably I can tell, but still relatively enjoying this. Let's see what we're getting here lyrically. Humans in the honest light, love is a cold infection. Alright. Why in the morning of one bad night do I fight your touch like a fever? Human man, you loosen my mind. Loosen my hand from the beck and a knife. How in the fortress of your eye do you lay me down a believer? Okay. I can't see me, I can't see. You can't see me, I can't see. So you can't see who you are, they can't really know who you are, I guess, is what you're trying to suggest here. You can't fight, you can't, I'm fooling my heart. So you're suggesting here that you're lying to yourself too. This isn't like a real thing, but you're still like desiring it, I guess. Sort of lying to yourself. Okay, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Chilling in the kitchen in the city too. The light would flicker like a violet moon. The night was thicker than a smoky fume. The lies awaited in the room. Love is a gentle thing. Yours is thicker than a velvet ring. Yours is thicker than a velvet ring. But when you knew that she was falling, you faced me to avoid the thing.
Okay, this is a very fast song as well, like fast way that she's singing to it, this verse. Again, another song that feels kind of grungy, but still more leaning into a folk territory. Just about a relationship. One person's prostituting, person's pregnant, they're having trouble with money, but their love is very strong. Their love is so strong, he's going to see through the pregnancy, and he's going to do what he can to take care of her. It doesn't need to go into deeper details of this relationship. Okay, yeah, it's a very sweet track, but at the same time, its themes or what it's talking about is very dark or very, in reality, is a very scary circumstances. Some of these songs, I feel like, I can see this being played in rock bands. Animals, pretty chill song here. Okay, starts off here talking about animals. They're laying low. In the sun, you're catching your breath, counting your money. You live to run. You need to go. You and I were born, and I'll make you make your mind up. She always know that I loved her oh so well, but I need to go. So, like, kind of on the run or needing to, like you're running away. Nothing in your eyes will tell me where you'll lie. Okay, very weird track here, like sort of this couple or something, but this, like, are you coming with me type of situation. You know what I mean? Like, or are we destined to split up here because you can't make your mind up to choose me over something, I guess.
After
Okay, Randy here. This is a fantastic track. Very depressing, very sad. I'm wondering if this person is like in love with someone, or someone they can't have because they just like are not leaving their house. You know what I mean? Like they're just hiding away from the world. I don't know. Like I see like Randy, leave it up to me. I'll pour the water if you bring the tree. So wanting somebody, right, who's gonna bring those roots and ground them. And this person is willing to grow if they bring that. Nothing looks that real to me. I only see 2 or 3 colors, so almost like the world is very gray. There's not a lot of color in it, or that sort of type of depression I guess. What's it like to breathe in? Okay. It's saying here, like being normal. Find a friend and gather with him. I'm a wolf in a city of women. You only know the light is on. I'm a wolf in a city of women. She feels very abnormal. She doesn't feel real. You only know the light is on. Only knowing that I'm alive, I'm here. You don't really know what I'm actually going through inside this house. Will you plant that sycamore, baby? I'll watch it grow from the 2nd floor. I haven't left the house much lately, and you don't come around here anymore. All those lovers in their velvet gowns. I want to take that trip uptown. You want to live that life, right? You want to be in love. You want to be happy. Will you tell them to let me out when you can see the light is on? So if someone knows that I'm here, why can't somebody save me? Found a horse here in my food. There's a raccoon in my room. There are blue jays only bloom all along the cement floor. So you're not living in the sense of reality, right? Like this isn't real. This is sort of, you're living in a state of paranoia potentially. Fantasy because of this. Randy, they say I've gone insane. So could you take me dancing in the pouring rain? Please. Again, wants to be saved. You don't know me, but you know my name. You've heard of this person. So now she's sort of suggesting maybe that people know that she's maybe crazy or going, is a very sad individual. But yeah, wow. Will you say it till the light is gone? So maybe suggesting here that is everyone just gonna like have these sort of ideas about who she is until she's dead, and no one was there to save her. She wasn't there to save herself. She was just too mentally ill.
Don't I make you feel right? Don't I give you a good home? I've always been a long teach me to transform, then I step right in, cocoon till I'm born. Parallels of sea, 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 parallels of sea,
Parallels, last song on here. Big Thief album. This is quite a good song as well. Interesting here. Don't I make you feel alive? Don't I give you a good home? In a way, I know you're always by my side, but today I think I've always been a long way. So now feeling like you're not close to this person, wondering why that is. Like, aren't you doing a good job to feel this way? And now you're saying like all you really want is keep warm, hold my chin, to be inside your arms is all I'm asking. Like you really are wanting this person to be close to you, and you are trying to say this just in the physical sense. Caterpillar on the floor, can you teach me how to transform? I'll step right in and cocoon till I'm born, and I can't say that I'll miss my human form much. So saying you're like willing to change, like you're willing to grow into this next step of life. And then repeating this line at the end, I see all parallels, like how your lives are paralleling, I guess, in a way. So the one way of thinking of parallel lines never meet. You're right beside each other. That closeness isn't happening. you're close, but you'll never meet. So maybe this relationship will never be where you're actually wanting it to be. Okay, so there we have it. Okay, I finally listened to the debut album. There's only Capacity. It's the only one I haven't listened to in their discography. And what am I thinking about this album overall? I like it. I think it's quite good with the way that she writes, so I will say that she's, definitely an impressive songwriter. Overall, just thinking here or looking at the track listing, I don't think there's a lot of happiness. I'd say Vegas. Maybe Lorraine. Other than that, though, this is a very sad album. It's very sad. Usually this has to do with relationships, not just romantic relationships, but relationships with, like, family as well. I don't think there's any song here that's just about a person alone, really. Other than maybe Randy, but Randy is in relation to this guy named Randy, right, or other people. So what am I thinking about this overall? I think I like it. I think it's quite good. First listen, it's in between a 7.5 to an 8. I'm not sure. Like 7.5 I can confidently say, and it feels 8-ish, but I don't know if I could fully give it the 8. I'm going to listen to it a few more times, though, see how comfortable and familiar I can get with these tracks, or, no pauses in between the 12 songs, and see if it really works for me. But regardless, I'm liking this for sure. And this is consistently sort of how I feel about UFOF and Two Hands, and then Dragon New Warm I kind of liked a good bit more. So, overall, from what I've really heard about Big Thief, is just, I like the stuff. Okay, there's some good songs in between these albums. I'm not as head over heels as I could be, but everything's good. Everything's good. Okay, I'll come back to it a few more times. Okay, masterpiece here, Big Thief. It was a 7.5 to an 8, but listening to it a few more times, it really, this last listen I gave it was smooth, easy-going. I was able to sing the sort of catchy parts of this album. This is great. This is great. One thing I'll say is production-wise, that's where things really shine. Loving the guitar on this for sure, and then I think drums are really what's best produced on this. I think that really works. And obviously, Adrian Linker has already always been known as a great vocalist. I think that shines here as well. And on a singer-songwriter aspect, these songs are quite depressing, quite deep. I really feel that way with Masterpiece, with Real Love for sure. Paul, oh my gosh. And then Randy, there's so many moments here coming back to it, paying attention to those lyrics the first time. And it just really sells for me. This is, wow. I think this may be my favorite Big Thief album. I do like this more than Dragon New Warm, to be honest. I think that's just in the sense of its digestible nature. Dragon New Warm may have some more creative ideas, potentially. But as in the sense that there's 20 songs, there's so many different types of sounds on there that it's a very ambitious project. But this keeps it tight, keeps it concise, and it's making it very easily replayable, and something that's I can put on, and I feel I can sit through it. It's comfortable, and I'm not. You can't say that for every album, I think. This, and when it comes to folk albums or singer-songwriter albums, I think that's the biggest intention, is that it's something you can sit with when it's playing, and it's just relaxing. It's just relaxing. You don't even need to really think about it, right? And it feels very soft, and it feels like it's almost putting you to bed, maybe. I don't know. This is wonderful. This is wonderful. And I guess, I don't know if I'll do a reaction to it. It really depends on demand. But Capacity, I do need to listen to Capacity. That's about it for Big Thief. Anyways, if there's anything else you want to see me react to, anything at all, you can put a comment down below. Thank you for watching. Peace.